What is up, guys? It is Ultimate Spy 53 here, and joining me today is special guest Steve Kovoc, who is another YouTuber, and we are doing a review number 2. And like I teased last week, I'm going to be reviewing the Star Wars original trilogy with the help of Steve here. So having seen the original trilogy a few days ago, I mean, in my opinion, I think that they, like I did last week, I think that the original trilogy it's a good trilogy. It's really classic.
Oh yeah.
The only problem I think that people have with the original trilogy is the fact that they re-released it in 04. George Lucas decided to re-release them with subtitling it episode. And originally it was just called the Star Wars, and then he changed it to Star Wars. But like,
the thing that people don't like is what he added in the 2004 edition. Like in Return of the Jedi, for example, they added these the extra dancers and singers. A lot of people, including myself, didn't really like that.
But we're focusing on the episode 4 first. So I'm gonna show you guys a little trailer here.
Alright, so.
Alright. Okay, so we're just gonna have a little trailer playing here. And like, the special effects were, that's what they were back then. They did it the best they could. The acting was fairly better than the old stuff. I thought, like, everything, it developed well. Like, you didn't even know who, like, Princess Leia was until, like, a little later. And then, like, the battle scene for, right here between, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader was very, very different.
I like that lightsaber fight.
Yeah,
it was
it
good.
just...
It was like... It wasn't like bombastic, like, whoa!
One thing I don't think that they should have done is have Obi-Wan put a hood up. That doesn't need to happen.
It felt like actual sword fighting.
Yeah.
It's like actual bag movements, like the prequels where they go, whoa!
Yeah. And then, like, the original Star Wars logo, that's completely different. For Episode 4, that is completely different from the original. Like, now it's, like all cool and just awesome. It's one you recognize now, but, like, back then, they had a completely different logo. I mean, seriously, look at it. It looks way different. I mean, it's cool if you're like, if you like 70s movies, you're like, that's awesome, Star Wars. But it really, I don't know. It just like it wasn't like a lot of these like, I like Luke's change of clothes a lot. Like I like how I like his clothes.
In the beginning of the movie, Luke is all like, "I want to bring over the power converters." And then by the end of the movie, he's like a badass who destroyed the fucking Death Star. Just like
Exactly.
The thing I like one of the quotes I like is Luke's aunt is like, he's becoming like his father.
Yeah.
And Owen's like, that's what I'm afraid of. And I was like, ooh, foreshadowing. I was foreshadowing.
Totally. I mean, like
the whole Vader and Anakin thing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know much about Vader. You don't even realize it's his father, and you got Alec Guinness. I mean, it's a great cast for.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they had the whole thing planned out from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi.
Although one thing I can say is that having seen these movies, both of us, I'd say that like if I mean. There are people who think that it's a really, really stupid idea to put the subtitle Episode 4. I mean, because they're like, I don't know what's Episode 4, but they're probably thinking Episode 1, because it's like that's the 4th movie. Because I mean, episode 4 was never the 4th movie. It was the first movie.
Little,
yeah.
I actually thought episode 1, Phantom Menace, was the first Star Wars movie ever. And,
yeah.
and I remember, once the prequels were over and we got to episode 4, like, in terms of what we watched, like, we watched in order, I was like, why did it look so, like, old?
Exactly. I mean, the special effects, I mean, for 70s, late 70s, they were okay, but when they released it for, like, the one scene that I thought they just did a really crappy job at, was, like, I felt it wasn't necessary, was the little, like, when the first shot of Mos Eisley in episode 4, or this episode 4 here, this is the first one review, out of the trilogy reviewing, little like rat thingies that scampered away. Some shots like that in the release didn't really need to happen. And I thought like a lot of it was like the lightsaber battle. That was. I mean, you could tell they. I mean, they're like, oh my gosh, it's lightsabers, but like a lot of the special effects weren't great.
I mean, yeah, it was made in '77, almost 40 years ago. You gotta remember.
I mean, it's like
they, if anything, they were actually pushing the limits of the technology they had.
Yeah, I mean, it's just called Star Wars, so.
All those X-wings, Star Destroyers, TIE fighters, you name it, those were all models.
So yeah,
used models.
Yeah, episode 4, it just like, I mean, the only character I wish would have stayed on a little longer was Obi-Wan, because I felt, you know.
I thought Obi-Wan was pretty cool.
I thought, I mean,
liked his
it was pretty sad, but like.
I thought he was a cool character in this one. He was mysterious. He was
like,
very, like throughout New Hope, I was like, I mean.
Yeah.
We got to know what he was like beforehand.
Like,
Alone.
Yeah,
I'm imagining being someone seeing Star Wars for the first time in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, I want to know more about Obi-Wan. I want to know more about what he's been through. It just seems like a really interesting.
Yeah, I know. And like,
especially with his involvement with the Clone Wars, it's just like, ooh.
Like,
I see that.
like last week, I was talking about like the evolution of Obi-Wan, and the fact that like he started out as this Padawan, and now he's this old man. He's like this hermit person, and I feel Luke's pain of here he goes, like sacrificing himself to Vader, and now he's just lost his mentor.
Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
But yeah, I mean, for this first episode, for me, for us new generation people, this 4th episode, I thought they did pretty well.
I thought episode 4, they did good with the technology they had.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and the budget they had. I heard, I read some stuff online. Apparently they were having a lot of difficulties with the cast, the effects.
I think
everyone thought it was gonna bomb.
Yeah, the one thing that I really think that made people upset was the scene in the cantina, the whole who shot first. I think the Han and Boba and Greedo's like fight scene that like the whole it was like no Greedo shot first, no Han shot first. People are still on about that.
Greedo shot first. Han shot first.
I know. It's like there's so much wrong with that. And
George Lucas added Greedo shooting at it. It was originally Han Solo who shot first.
And then they released it, and then George Lucas fixed it so that they both shot first. It's like, I mean,
don't think it matters either way, really.
In the re-release,
my personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with that, I don't care.
In the re-release, they had like whole CGI characters that Lucas added in. I mean, I thought they were pretty cool, but like,
for example, in A New Hope, they had like a creature falling off like a dinosaur-looking thing.
Yeah.
I felt that was a bit unnecessary.
Like some of the CGI effects for
like I remember watching it, I was like, why is this even here? Is this even
exactly
necessary?
Like some of the CGI effects for this first for the one in this trilogy, I just thought was unnecessary. Like, I mean, the ones that I thought were pretty cool were the like X-wing shots, that was pretty cool. Although I do feel sorry for at the end of episode 4 when Chewbacca doesn't get a medal. Cause I mean he did technically fight, but
maybe that's why he was like, because he was probably sad.
And like another thing is because of the little effects, they literally had like a cutout of a group of people in the award ceremony at the end of episode 4.
And why didn't Leia get a medal? Didn't she have equal involvement?
Well, no, she's the person that they rescued her and they fought for her, so she gets to with them. She didn't do anything to she didn't do anything to deserve a reward.
General or something. Wait, no, that's not until Force Awakens.
But yeah, I mean, episode 4 was great. I thought like everything from episode 3, like everything from episode 3 to 4, that gap, and then like episode 4, you get this like, I mean, the only setback from episode 4 that I think is a little odd is that the opening credit crawl, that's like the only one where it's like you get the opening credit crawl and the Star Wars logo just goes like fast. Like that's the only episode of Star Wars that goes out fast. All the rest of them are pretty normal. They kind of go, and then they kind of go zoom out a little bit. But this one goes faster. Okay, so
I'm trying to force choke you.
That's the end of episode 4. So on to episode 5. I'm gonna play the next trailer for that.
Excelente.
So yeah, of course they changed the logo here.
Of course they did.
It's blue now. I mean, a lot of the a lot of the shots they borrowed from episode 2, like the asteroid field. They borrowed that. I mean, episode 5 was my opinion my favorite episode of the original trilogy because you get the fight between Luke and Vader. Oh yeah, because in episode 5, the guy who played Jango Fett actually lended his voice in an uncredited appearance as Boba Fett in the re-release of Star Wars Episode 5. That actually happened because they originally had a different voice actor. When they re-released Episode 5, they used the guy who played Jango Fett.
Who?
Yeah, I think it's Torrance Morrison or something. I can't remember his first name, but someone Morrison.
Wait, they changed Boba Fett's voice actor?
Yeah, in the episode 5 release. So, of course, the scene with the Wampa, I like how that happened because he's like, they had actually in the re-release they had another scene, wasn't even in the original movie, where it was like Wampa eating something, and then like I love
they actually showed that.
Yeah, I love how Luke can use the.
In the original movie, I heard they didn't even show it. They showed it like.
Yeah, I love how Luke Luke is officially a Jedi because he can finally use the Force on his lightsaber.
Lightsaber, get it right.
Yeah.
You know now. People are going to be like, "What the fuck? You call it a sword? It's a lightsaber."
Although why Episode 5 has a blue Star Wars logo for the trailer, I have no idea.
Blue.
Yeah. And then the Frozen and Carbonite scene, that was actually supposed to be Harrison Ford's last scene.
Yeah, I know. Because they weren't totally sure if he was going to come back. Which
exactly.
Is why they had to Carbonite, like, make it so that, they can bring
and
it
I
back
swear, the droid for Luke, let me go back, the droid for Luke, this one, the one that looks, the medical droid, I'm pretty sure that's the same droid from Episode 3 that took care of Padme.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. He looks the same droid. He looks like the same droid. But imagine swimming in that stuff after Luke gets out of the cold. Imagine swimming and just being contained in this like bucket of water for hours.
Yeah. And one of my favorite scenes was like Leia was like, "Oh, I love you," and then Han Solo was like, "I know."
Yeah.
Now it's actually Han Solo. Harrison Ford was originally supposed to say.
Yeah, I'm not coming back. I'll just do Empire and that's it. And it's like they made an agreement of like, okay, I'll come back for Return of the Jedi. So.
Yeah, he was like, fuck it, I'm coming back. I want the money.
But
I want the money now.
Like I feel like I like how they like episode 2 borrowed the asteroid field scene from episode 5. I mean, not the same scene, but like it was the same kind of like area. Yeah. That was great. I mean, I definitely think the part of episode 5 that was great was, I mean, there's several things like
the odds of getting onto the detector field is something to what?
Yeah. I think the two great scenes from episode 5 is the snowspeeder versus the AT-AT battle. That was great. Because there's actually a robot chicken of that scene where Luke tosses up a detonator and it falls into the pit of the AT-AT, and there's some stormtrooper going to the bathroom. So he's like, "Oh," and then he gets blown up.
What? Are you talking about Empire Strikes Back or Parrot?
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back, Robot Chicken.
We're talking about the original trilogy.
Yes, but they made fun of it. They made fun of it. It was great.
Great. It is a good movie. There were a lot of parts I liked about it. So what was your favorite part of Empire Strikes Back?
Definitely the battle between Luke and Vader. That was great, because like the Force be with
Luke.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not Jedi yet.
You have learned well, young Skywalker.
But you're not Jedi yet. That was so great.
Awesome.
And then the other thing that I felt like, I'm pausing it here on C-3PO.
And I liked how Vader took like the things and then just threw Luke out threw it out the window and then was like, "Wah!" And that was just awesome.
I mean,
throughout the entire scene was like, yes.
The unfortunate thing for C-3PO in this episode was when he got taken apart. That really sucked. Because he's so clumsy in this episode, so he just take it apart. But I think the big one is when you finally realize that Vader is Luke's father. Or it's like, Obi-Wan never told you the truth. He's like, he told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, Luke. I'm your father. No, that's not true. That's impossible. No.
That's impossible.
Yeah. It was actually a Rubber Chicken of that where it's like, and Princess Leia is his sister. That's improbable. And then he's like, and as a child, I built C-3PO. That's highly unlikely.
Oh. Did you know that search your feelings, you know it to be true?
Yeah.
For it to begin the movie, Emperor Palpatine actually said that to me.
Yeah.
And he actually said the same thing. She was like, "Say your feelings, you know it to be true."
Exactly.
He said that. I feel like it's kind of like I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I know.
Not coincidence, not connection, more like one of those things in movies where kind of like a catchphrasey thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to the trailer for episode 6.
Return of the Jedi.
Yes. So.
one of the moments that I laughed at in that film was like when Emperor Palpatine was like.
Yeah.
Like he talks to Luke and he's like. And he looks away from the camera. I found that hilarious. He looked absolutely disgusting.
Okay, so here's episode 6. So this is simply marketed as Return of the Jedi or Return to the Galaxy Far, Far Away. And I like how, I mean, this episode was the by far the climax of the entire trilogy. Like,
yeah, one of my favorite parts of that movie was
the Luke and Vader battle. That was, I mean, was what really kind of.
Like when Vader was like, perhaps we could try.
You have a twin sister. If you will not join the dark side, then maybe she will. No. Exactly.
And the music that was playing in the background was like, yes, this is so awesome. Yes.
Exactly.
It was like the music. What was happening? It was just like yes.
Although one thing that I thought was a little weird in the original release was the lightsabers looked a little weird. They looked bizarre. Like the original release, they just looked so weird.
In episode 6?
Yeah, the battle between Luke and Vader, the final battle.
Yeah, but why did you think the lightsabers look good? I thought they looked fine.
I mean, the original, and then in subsequent releases, they George Lucas fixed the problem so it looked more like the lightsabers we see today. Because the problem was that they literally looked like colored beams, until they fixed it to what was like a little white energy, but it was like colored beams of energy. That was pretty much it.
I think he fixed that in 2004.
Think so. That was I'm pretty sure that was the release.
They looked pretty bad.
I think Jabba the Hutt was great because he looks almost the same as in episode 1. I think, and also the big thing of Star Wars episode. I think the big thing of episode 6 was when for the slave Leia costume. That's been like a sexual thing, a sexual icon in the past decade, in the past 30 years. It really has. And also the Starlight Pit. You got the Starlight Pit. You got the. I mean, actually, the Starlight Pit was different in episode 6 because it actually had they added the effect of actually an actual mouth.
Okay, my least favorite part about the Jabba thing is in the 2004 special edition is what they added singers.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I thought that
remember the bug dude?
Yeah. Yeah, that was Jedi Rock. That was a little weird because they edited that. They actually changed the song for that actually. So looking here, this is I kind of like Luke's new lightsaber. I mean, they don't really explain. Was
because I'm sorry, Tom, but that's because he wanted to appeal to kids, I guess. You just assume that kids in 2004 like slapstick shit like that.
Yeah, I just
George Lucas. If kids like Star Wars as it was when it first came out, then I can guarantee you they will like it as it is now.
I think that I liked the new lightsaber Lucas, but the one thing I don't really understand is I think I might have shown it in deleted scenes on the release of the DVD, but they didn't really show Luke getting a new lightsaber. They just suddenly he has it. That's my con of episode 6 was the fact that they didn't actually show him a lightsaber. Like at the end of episode 5, he loses his lightsaber by getting his hand chopped off, and then suddenly episode 6, he has a new lightsaber. It's like, whoa, how did that happen?
Okay, one thing I wonder is that in episode 5, Lando was all like before Han Solo was frozen in carbonite, he still was like about Lando. He was like, you betrayed me. In episode 6, they never really.
Yeah, I know.
It was just like, oh, they're instantly friends again. They don't really have they don't talk or anything.
I mean, I don't like how the original trilogy doesn't really. They don't really explain a lot of things in the original trilogy. Like suddenly, Luke goes from his like a lot of the things of the entire trilogy, of the entire original trilogy, was the fact that suddenly, like all these costume changes, they don't really explain them at all. Like suddenly,
from episode 5 to episode 6. Luke changed him from just an X-Wing pilot who's learning how to become a Jedi to like a Jedi Master who dresses like a fucking Sith.
Actually, he's a Jedi Knight, I think.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Oh, and I'm sorry if I backtrack here, but I have to address this. In episode 5, there's this weird scene on Dagobah where Luke goes to a cavern and then Darth Vader comes in.
Oh yeah, that was actually an illusion. That was a illusion. It wasn't actually Vader. So
like some sort of hallucination or something. Was that a mind trick from Yoda? What is that?
They actually in episode 5 they actually changed the dialogue.
No, I'm talking about the hallucination scene.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was really creepy actually.
Yeah, like it felt very out of place. Like
like
I remember when I was little.
Yeah.
I used to think it was just some weird dream I had or something because I hadn't watched Star Wars for 10 years until like last year.
Exactly.
I got back into it, but for a while I thought it was just some weird dream I had when I was little because it feels so out of place compared to the rest of the movies. The rest of the movies is all like second one, and then there's just weird little almost
Okay, guys, I'm going to go to YouTube again and search.
Like, what exactly was that? Was that like Yoda doing something with Luke's mind?
I don't know. It was definitely a hallucination, I'd say.
In anything on what it was, like Yoda was just like Yoda right before. It's like Luke is like, I feel cold. I feel cool. Yeah. No. He puts on sunglasses. I feel cool. No, I don't even know that, but you know. And then Yoda, and he looks to the jungle. He's like, "What's in there?" And Yoda's like, "What you take with you," or something.
Yeah, and like, there's a lot of things that you can tell that Yoda's going backtracking to episode 5.
And then
you can
Luke goes into the jungle.
One thing that you can tell was from episode 3 was Yoda's hut was actually his pod, his escape pod to Dagobah. That was not to episode 3.
And in episode 6, Luke Yoda just disappeared when he died. He died, and then he's like, gone.
Yeah, it's like suddenly he just disappears. Like, what a great way to die! What a great way to go! And like episode 5, they changed the dialogue for, I think it was, lucky you don't taste very good, or I think it was you were lucky to get out of there. Yeah, it was originally you were lucky it was, I think it was originally, you're lucky you don't taste very good, to you're lucky to get out of there, I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was. So yeah, I'm just going to this
and then
this part.
5, Vader was like,
so yeah, this part was the scene.
Vader. Like, he was talking about going back to his Star Destroyer or something.
Yeah.
Like, I remember this one part when they're on Bed's Pit towards the end, and they show Vader walking back.
Yeah, I know.
Stormtroopers. The voice actor doesn't sound like James Earl Jones. I heard that was actually added.
I don't know.
It's
okay,
like one line of dialogue.
So the lightsabers definitely improved throughout the trilogy, I'd say.
What?
The lightsabers definitely improved throughout the trilogy from episode 4 to episode 6, because episode 4 they just looked. Episode 4 looked really crappy, and then episode 6 got a lot better.
Episode 4 looked good for the time.
I also like episode 6's romance. I like how the Han and Leia romance really kind of, went up.
I'm not in Star Wars for the romance. I'm in Star Wars for the action.
The reason for the romance is so that because in episode 7, that they have a kid and called Ben, and he comes to Dark Side.
Yeah, and at the end of Return of Jedi, at the walk party, yeah. I couldn't help but think, like, hey, the Galactic Empire is gone. Oh wait, in the next 10 to 20 years,
yeah.
Kylo Ren.
One thing I don't really understand is this scene here with the Ewoks. Suddenly, it's like the Ewoks can take out a AT-TE or whatever, that's walking things, with 2 lumps of wood, like 2 oaks of like 2 stumps of wood. It's like, seriously. Yeah, the Ewok. I like the Ewoks. I thought they were cute.
They're okay, I guess.
I also like the land speeders in episode 6. That was really cool. I like the hovering land speeders.
Oh, the motorcycle thing?
Yeah, the land speeders.
Oh, okay.
And then the Death Star blowing up thing. It's like, and it was a road chick. It was like, what do you mean they blew up the Death Star? Ah, crap. That's not good.
Return of Jedi, they all the movies have their good moments, they really do. My favorite scene in episode 4 was either the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and Luke in the X-Wing scene, where they're like, phew! And then my favorite scene in episode 5 is Luke versus Vader and the Hoth, battle scene with the AT-ATs and stuff. And my favorite scene in episode 6 was pretty much...
Okay, going backtracking to episode 4 real quick, what I thought that was a little cheesy is when Obi-Wan first appears to Vader, suddenly his lightsaber suddenly goes, instead you expect it to go like this, but it went like, it slowly retracted. I didn't like that. I thought the original fight, like the original lightsaber retracting was like, you can see the lightsaber slowly come out. I thought it was a little slow. It just felt slow. And the one thing I don't really think that they needed to do in episode 4 was have Obi-Wan put his hood up. Like, what's that gonna do? That's gonna protect you so much. Like, seriously, what's that gonna do? Make it look cool? Like, seriously. That didn't need to happen.
I will become more powerful than you ever.
If you strike me down, I shall become... Okay, that line doesn't really make sense because... How can he become more powerful? Become a ghost?
I will become more powerful than you ever imagined.
I mean, the choreography for...
She's saying that he'll become practically a god.
The choreographing for the lightsaber battles was actually pretty good. I'd say.
Yeah. And at the end, towards the end of episode 6, I really liked the scene where Luke takes off Vader's helmet. That was really cool. I really liked it. It was touching, it was awesome, it was just like, ooh. It was cool. I like that scene.
Okay, I'm gonna show you viewers that's the little the end credits for episode 6. So you get Luke lighting Vader on fire. Cause it's great to light your dad on fire.
The scene was like when Luke was like, I gotta save you.
And then there's all these extra added scenes. You get like nods to the prequel trilogy. I like that part. I thought that was really well done.
What?
I thought the nods to the prequel trilogy, like the bike from episode 1, which is the let's see, this thing right here. So this little bike thing, the little red thingy, the little, like it's like a speeder thingy. That was from episode 1, I believe. And I mean, I thought that they might. I don't think that it was necessary to have all these extra CGI effects, but in my opinion, as a reviewer, for this episode, I think that I think they made a nice nod to the prequel trilogy. I really think they did. I mean, people who don't like the CGI, not all of it was bad. Like, for the re-release, I thought that the extra CGI, especially the ones that look kind of like they were coming from episode 1, I thought they did pretty good at that. Like shown here, this is Tatooine. A lot of this is all like a nod to the prequel trilogy, and then finally Naboo. And I think there's a little thing in the end of episode 6 where you can hear Jar Jar's or a Gungan. I think it was Jar Jar. I think it was just a Gungan, like going yay. I thought they did a really. I thought it was fun to just like see this old stuff. You can see like the things of episode 2, the downtown Coruscant. You can see it's all alive after all these years, and you can see the Jedi Temple. Oh my God! You can see the Jedi. I thought that was perfect. I thought that you can see the Jedi Temple from the distance. You can see, oh, it's still it's still there. You can like that's just I thought that was a good nod to the prequel trilogy.
But I think so it's still there. So I guess the Galactic Empire didn't blow it up.
It's like blowing the Death Star up makes everything happy. You can see
I wonder what they did with it though. Did they turn it into? Did they just abandon it? Did they turn it into a museum? Did they?
I thought
something else.
I thought the effects were pretty good. I mean, not everyone likes the re-release, but I thought the
prequels or the original trilogy.
I thought the re-release where they added all this stuff like it was simply a nod to the prequel trilogy. I thought that was
so,
yeah. And then skipping here to the scene where Luke sees his stuff, his people. Let me go back. Oh, okay. So right here, Luke looks on at the ghost people, and people were furious by this. They had the original actor for Anakin, Sebastian Shaw, was originally in the original release of episode 6, but they replaced him with the head. They literally. My brother's theory on this is they literally replaced the head of Hayden Christensen with the head of Sebastian Shaw. So you get to see Anakin as Hayden Christensen from the original prequel trilogy, episode 3. And one thing that really kind of doesn't make sense, I talked about this last week for the prequel trilogy, is now Anakin is in like light side Jedi robes, like white cream robes, which kind of doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Like suddenly that's a thing. Like what caused him to do that? Like suddenly maybe the idea is that he's since he was defeated by Luke and he took his helmet off, that he's turned to the light side now, and now he's.
I actually heard at Return of the Jedi George Lucas was actually playing around with the idea of having Luke take off Vader's helmet and then put it on.
Yeah.
And say, "I am now Vader."
That'd be weird. I mean, they
that would be
like
cheesy.
yeah.
Outright. What?
One thing that people also didn't like about the release of Episode 6 was the removal of the eyebrows when Luke takes off Vader's helmet. Originally, it was eyebrows there, and then when George Lucas went back and released it, he removed the eyebrows, and it looks so much better.
They removed the eyebrows.
Yes, because they're
originally had eyebrows.
Yes, apparently, which doesn't make any sense because with the re-release, you actually see, like, you can tell that from Episode 3, you can tell, like, because his eyebrows obviously were gone, at the end of Episode 3, because this is, Episode 3 kind of, in a way, links to Episode 6 at the very end, because they take the body of Hayden Christensen or the head, my bad, the head of Hayden Christensen, and from Episode 3, and put it on the body of Sebastian Shaw as Anakin.
What?
I thought this entire scene was you got Yoda,
they actually put.
Yeah, that's a theory. That's a theory. Yeah.
In Episode 6.
That's a theory. That's the people are saying that's what they literally did because apparently Hayden Christensen actually appears in Episode 6 uncredited.
So you're saying
at least the re-release anyway. Yeah.
On Anakin's jaw.
Or no, on Sebastian Shaw's body, which is odd. I mean, the one thing, yeah, like I said before, I don't really understand why suddenly Anakin's in like lighter Jedi robes. I mean, maybe the idea is that he, like I said before, turned to the light side after Luke defeated Vader. I guess. I don't know. I mean, you probably don't know either, but I'm guessing that's what happened. I mean, I don't think you know either, but I think we both don't know, but the answer to that one. But I'm guessing that that's what happened. Is that he turned to the light side after he was defeated by Luke. Like Luke take off his helmet in the moment that happened, or the moment the Darth Vader sees what Palpatine is doing, he turns to the light side. He's like, no. He's like, you can't do that to my son. You must die.
I like how like when Palpatine is like, shh. Like, Vader keeps looking back and forth. Like that. You can tell Vader is like,
yeah.
Should I go with the Emperor?
Kind of like with...
Save my son? Should I kill the Emperor? Should I go with my son? What should I do? I really like that. Vader is obviously having, like, a...
Yeah.
Like a inside conflict.
Like, I can't decide. Who should I follow? Should I follow the dark side or should I follow the light side?
Finally, Vader decides, fuck this. I'm saving my son.
Yeah. Let's see. Star Wars Episode 6. Palpatine dies or something. I'm just gonna show this. Oh no, this is not what I want. Go back.
What are you looking for?
Oh, here we go. So, here's a little thing. So, we got Palpatine, you got Vader, and he's like doing his thing. I like the effects. I love the effects. I mean, for 70s and 80s technology, that's pretty good effects.
For
I thought the original trilogy, just all the effects were brilliant.
What?
Yeah.
For the original trilogy in general?
Yeah, just the like the for all these effects, they just look good, sort of.
Yeah, they do. I mean, for the time, a lot of them has aged well, in my opinion. A lot of the effects that they used have aged well.
Yeah.
Like for example, like the exploding, AT-STs from the Jedi and stuff like that, and the Death Star blowing up in Episode 4. It still looks pretty good.
And then Sidious, his smile at the end of when he's electrocuting Luke, he's like, it's really creepy. It's like, ooh, yes, you'll die now.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Darth Vader's like, no, you cannot do this to my son. Yeah.
Vader. They're trying to make him more menacing than Vader.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying to emphasize they're trying to show that Emperor Palpatine is worse than Vader.
Exactly. I mean, that would hurt. I mean, if you got Force lightning, that would hurt.
Yeah, the electrocution scene, I was just like, should I be watching this?
Turning to Luke, turning to Sidious. I think the moment Vader decided to end Palpatine, that was the moment he turned the light side. That's my theory.
I thought that was a pretty good moment.
I'm thinking, like, the moment he realized, okay, this is not okay, you're not going to kill Luke, I'm going to kill you now. Because that was the moment where he turned back to the light side.
Where his light side finally takes over.
Exactly, that's my point. I think that's what happened.
Because throughout the entire movie, they're like, oh, you can't bring Vader back from the dark side. Well, like Obi-Wan, Yoda, all those guys, they say, no, you can't back from the dark side. They're
and
wrong.
Then Vader becomes just weaker. He just becomes weak. I mean, he's a a cyborg, so so
and Obi-Wan was like, he's more man than machine. I mean, he's more machine than man.
Exactly.
But it's kind of true, but it's not. I mean, he has a lot of machine parts. Most of his body is machine. The suit, the limbs.
Yeah.
And he needs the suit, which is a robotic suit, to breathe and all that. He's mostly machine. The only thing that's not is his head and his torso.
So I'd say the entire original trilogy, in my opinion, they did a pretty good job. I mean, for 70s and 80s, they did pretty good. I mean, the one thing I wish they had done is market it as episode. I mean, they probably didn't do that originally because they didn't even know that was episode 4, episode 5, episode 6.
Well, they didn't really do that until like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, as reviewing, in my opinion, I'm gonna go first. I'd say all 3 episodes, episode 4, 5, and 6, they did a really good job, and I thought they all these characters developed really well. And I like how C-3PO and R2-D2 were the only 2 characters to actually make it through all 6 films.
Yeah.
So yeah, Steve Kovac, what do you think on this? In your opinion, what's your opinion on the how would, as a reviewer for you, how would you what do you think of the original trilogy? Having seen it.
What?
Having seen the original trilogy, more recently than me, how'd you review it?
I think they're good. They're good movies. They're well made. The effects are good. I like the character. You genuinely, they do a good job. It hits most of the right notes.
Exactly.
When it comes to movie making for me. It hits a lot of. It does a lot of things that I like about films.
Yeah, I know.
It has characters. It has good action sequences. The romance is good. The story itself is good. The music is amazing.
Exactly.
It's excellent. Everything about it, there's a lot to like. I mean, if you can't find one good thing about any of the films, I swear there's something wrong with you. Even if you just don't, there's always that one little thing. I mean, if you don't like even one little tiny itty bitty thing about the film, something's wrong with you.
I mean, it's Star Wars. What do you expect?
Or at least like the music and the cultural impact. Just imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
like without the original trilogy.
Yeah.
We were living in a very different culture, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
So yeah, I think to end.
So we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Watch now.
So yeah, I think to end I think the one last little thing before we finish this is I thought the Death Star, I thought it was funny how they blew it up the first time and then the second time it wasn't even complete and they blew it up again.
I love how they built a second Death Star. Like, oh, the first Death Star didn't work out. Let's build a second one.
It's not complete yet. Let's blow it up again. Okay, so this about does it for this week's episode. But I'll see you next week for another episode of Reviewed. Thank you, Steve Kovac, for joining me in this very special episode.
With you, viewers.
It was very fun to talk to you about Star Wars and reviewing. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have Steve on a future episode if you would like to. So yeah, I think this will do it for this episode. So yeah, all right. Thank you for watching.
May Force be with you, viewers.